I transmigrated into a female-oriented novel, becoming the male supporting character in a domineering CEO story. Tall, handsome, and unbelievably rich, yet everyone treats me like a dim-witted landlord's son. The impoverished female college student my family sponsors want me to give her gambling addict father $100 million in exchange for a chance to pursue her. My white moonlight, whom I've been chasing for years, agreed to a marriage alliance, but demands that all assets and the company be under her control after the wedding, generously giving me a meager $500 allowance each month. Are these female leads insane? Please, I'm just rich, not stupid. The abacus beads are hitting fellow readers in the face. Don't blame me for ruthlessly destroying the flowers. Handsome, wealthy male leads from powerful families are either money-dispensing ATMs, taking on the burden heroes, or warm men chasing after the female lead like dogs. The setup is so good, but they insist on treating the male lead like a clueless landlord's son. Damn it, is this all artificial? Is there no one normal? I scrolled through the short stories, speechlessly ranting. Wattpad was going crazy, constantly recommending female-oriented domineering CEO stories to me. Working during the day is tiring enough. I finally have some free time to relax with a novel at night, and it just makes my blood pressure spike. Why torment countless readers like me with these brainless, idiotic, artificial plots? We're not masochists. Tu, Tao mean Tao. The next second, everything went black. When I opened my eyes again, I realized I had transmigrated into a novel. I became Austin, the handsome, wealthy male supporting character in a female-oriented domineering CEO story. The only son of the New York Austin family, a top-tier second-generation rich kid with a net worth exceeding $50 billion. Last night, while reading those artificial short stories on Wattpad, I was indignantly sticking up for the male lead. Never would I have imagined. Now I become Austin, the wealthy and handsome heir to the Austin Group. Hia. Readers, good deeds really are rewarded. From now on, I will experience this simple and unadorned ultra-rich life. Screw the original plot, screw the brain-dead female leads, get out of my way. Male supporting characters are people too. They need to live normally. Besides, with my looks and family background, there will be plenty of hot, young, and beautiful women. Why would I be so bored as to revolve around those mentally unstable female leads? If anyone dares to scheme against me, treating me like a stupid, rich ATM, a stepping stone, or even a backup or burden taker, I will ruthlessly destroy the flowers. Just then, an ultra-luxurious car slowly came to a stop. Mr. Austin, we're home. The driver, Uncle Wayne, opened the car door for me, smiling warmly, gesturing for me to get out. The bodyguard vehicles that had been following behind also stopped. The bodyguards escorted me home. The security measures were very impressive. The massive, detached villa, resembling a manor, was outrageously lavish. Butler Uncle Fred and Nanny Wanda were also there, smiling broadly to greet me. Hiss, is this the decadent, luxurious life of the wealthy? It must be fiercely criticized, but I like it very much. As soon as I walked through the gate, I heard an arrogant voice. It sounded very harsh. Auntie, I'm moving into your house, but there must be a 3-chapter agreement. I'm a poor college student you're sponsoring, not your family's maid or servant. I don't want anyone disturbing my studies, especially your frivolous son. A pretty girl in faded clothes raised her head haughtily, gesturing imperiously. The girl's words and actions were very rude, like a brainless dolt. But my mom, a daughter of a wealthy family, always maintained a gentle smile. Until she heard this person directly saying bad things about her son. Her smile froze, and her face instantly turned cold. Everyone in New York's high society knows. I, the only son of the Austin family, have always been my mom's Achilles heel. Lily, who are you calling frivolous? My mom stared at her, asking in a cold tone. I knew my mom was trying hard to restrain herself, because she needed to know my attitude towards Lily. After all, The decision to sponsor Lily was made by the original male lead. Of course, all of this was being manipulated by the original plot, or rather, by that idiotic author of the original plot, making such an excellent, super-rich male lead act like he was under a spell. Normally, poor college students can apply for student loans. If they have good grades, they can get a lot of scholarships. Truly excellent students would rather work part-time than take advantage of others, let alone move into the benefactor's mansion. But this broken short story's artificial author portrayed a white lotus flower, seemingly weak but full of schemes, yet still acting like an inspirational female lead. It's simply outrageous. Right now, although she's a poor college student, Lily always carries a strange confidence. She doesn't know how to read the room at all, and said dismissively, "Your son who manages the Austin group? Oh, isn't he back?" Lily saw me standing at the door watching the show with amusement and immediately shouted dissatisfied, "Austin, why didn't you say hello when you came back? And you're eavesdropping on us. It's so annoying. Although I've moved into your house, you better not have any funny ideas about me. Remember, don't interfere with my studies, don't fawn over me, and don't pester or harass me. We're impossible. I'll never like you in this lifetime. If you can't help it, you better move out." Me? I pointed to myself, looking bewildered, revealing the meme of a girl pointing at herself with a question mark on her forehead. Butler, Uncle Fred, and Nanny Wanda, hearing Lily's crazy words, were shocked, revealing the surprised expression of a groundhog, while my mom maintained a cold posture, watching Lily's clown show as if she were looking at an idiot. Can anyone tell me, what kind of thought process is this? The poor college student my family is sponsoring wants to move into my house and make a 3-chapter agreement with us. She even arrogantly warned me not to have feelings for her. Otherwise, I should move out of my own house? Who gave her the courage? Is this the female lead of a crazy, female-oriented world? How did Lily's brain, so abnormal, even manage to grow up? I turned my head blankly, looking at the dumbfounded Uncle Fred. "Uncle Fred, is this my house? Why is she so arrogant?" Old butler Uncle Fred quickly woke up. "Young master, of course it's your house. She's out of her mind." Immediately afterwards, I instructed the surprisingly strong Nanny Wanda. "Nanny Wanda, get this shameless lunatic out of here." Nanny Wanda was also stunned by Lily's words earlier. Without saying a word, she rushed over, dragging Lily towards the door. "Get out! Dare to come near the yard, and I'll beat you to death." Nanny Wanda threw Lily out of the yard, pointing at her with her hands on her hips, cursing. Bang! Lily fell on her, but furious. She cursed viciously. "Austin, you bastard, don't expect me to forgive you. Who gave you the guts to bully me like this? When I become successful in the future, I will definitely repay you tenfold." When you become successful in the future. In fact, from the moment I walked through the door and heard Lily's wild, crazy ranting, I knew she must have been reborn. Because in the original storyline, when Lily first moved into my house, she wasn't this overly confident and arrogant at all. Instead, she was cautious, speaking softly, giving the impression of being inferior and timid. However, I was familiar with the plot, knowing that it was all an act. The original male supporting character, the warm and gentle Austin, was deceived by her weak and innocent image. Lily, with her explosive acting skills, manipulative words, and pitiful appearance, had the male supporting character completely infatuated. But I'm not the original male supporting character. Don't even think about using me as an ATM or a backup to achieve your distorted values female lead ambitions. I just didn't expect that after I transmigrated into the book, Lily would also be reborn. Interesting. Reborn is good, especially since she was reborn into the starting stage, where she was penniless and needed my family's support. Without my family's funding, resources, and connections, I'd like to see how she'll soar to become the female lead. But Lily, with her female lead mentality, is arrogant and sees herself as very important. Slapping her face like this will surely be louder and more satisfying. For this kind of ingrate, I must completely kill her from the source. I took out my phone and dialed Secretary Zoe's number. "Secretary Zoe, Immediately terminate all funding to Lily. Yes, cut it all off. Lily panicked when she saw I was serious. She also calmed down from her angry emotions, realizing that she was nothing at the moment. A gambling father, a seriously ill mother, and a younger brother in school, and a poor and broken home. She could barely attend university thanks to the Austen family's funding. In her previous life, Lily relied on the original male supporting character's love for her, so she treated him like the village idiot from a wealthy family. She unscrupulously used the Austen family's money to support her broken home. At the same time, she graduated from university smoothly and used the Austen family's connections and resources to protect her ascent. In the end, Lily was noticed by the domineering CEO male lead, Drake, and the two joined forces to build a powerful business empire. So even if she was reborn, she wouldn't bother remembering lottery numbers or anything like that. As for the original male supporting character, Austen, she dumped him with some bizarre excuse. What excuse? Lily asked the male supporting character if he liked sweet or savory tofu pudding. When the male supporting character said he liked sweet, she said she was a staunch supporter of savory. She also rambled a bunch of sophistry, claiming that this was a sweet party versus savory party clash of values, impossible to reconcile. Therefore, their personalities and values didn't match, and it was better to cut it short. So they had to break up. Then she turned around and threw herself into the arms of the domineering CEO male lead, Drake, and the two lived out a sweet romance novel plot. So, tell me, isn't Lily this inspirational female lead? Inspirational? Ask anyone who saw that fake person short story. Wouldn't their blood pressure soar? Now that I'm here, let's see how she's so inspirational. Lily cursed in her heart that the heavens were blind, actually letting her be reborn into the most difficult stage. Thinking of her volatile gambling father's iron fists and her seriously ill mother and younger brother, who were a burden to her. She could also be flexible and was decisive in admitting defeat and showing weakness. Lily got up from the ground, suppressing her dissatisfaction and grievance. Then, she put on a professional fake smile on her pretty face, looked at me with sparkling eyes, but said crazy things. Austen, you win. Your behavior has caught my attention. As long as you give my dad a little bit of pocket money, I'll give you a chance to pursue me. Actually, it's not much, just 100 million. It's just small change. Here we go again? Is Lily's brain broken? Does she not understand human language? The impoverished female college student funded by my family, whose clothes are washed until they're faded, is saying that 100 million is small change. Let me give her dad 100 million in tiny pocket money, and I can get a chance to pursue her. What kind of mutated carbon-based life form is she that she can say such brainless things? The heir to the New York Austen family, the head of Austen Group with assets exceeding 50 billion. Is that desperate for women? Crazy. Just then, the burly bodyguard, who was always cold and serious, couldn't hold back and laughed out loud. Sorry, Mr. Austen, I have received professional training. No matter how funny it is, I won't laugh, unless I can't help it. The bodyguard was struggling to hold back his laughter, but immediately turned around to explain. Encountering a female lead with a brain like Lily's, even an old eunuch would be moved to spring. Didn't you see that the butler, Uncle Fred, and the nanny, Nanny Wanda, were laughing so hard they were bent over backward despite their age? As for me, of course I was stamping my feet and laughing heartily. Laugh my ass. Austen, give me a straight answer. Are you going to give it or not? It's just a small sum of 100 million, right? I've already agreed to give you a chance to pursue me. What else do you want? If you don't have this much sincerity, I'll never talk to you again. Lily felt that she was giving enough face and was also showing weakness to me, this backup. It's simply outrageous. After all, she's a reborn person, the one who knows best what kind of stuff I am. Just a licking dog backup who madly pursues and loves her, nothing more than a stepping stone for her ascent. Lily felt that using the ultimate moves, I'll never talk to you again, and I'll never forgive you, could easily manipulate me, this super-rich second generation. However, I'm not the male supporting character from the original novel. These bullshit ultimate moves have no effect on me at all. Even Lily, this female lead, is nothing more than a crazy idiot in my eyes. Lily saw that I was unmoved, even smirking with a playful expression. She turned around to leave, preparing to play the push-and-pull game. At the same time, wait a moment. My mom, who had been staring coldly at Lily, suddenly spoke up. Lily was overjoyed upon hearing this, and a smug smile appeared on her face. She knew this trick would work. After all, she was reborn. Lily naturally knew how much her mom cared about me, her only son. Lily was like a victorious rooster. With her head held high, she said arrogantly, "Making me angry has a price. Austin, to make you learn your lesson, this time you must give 300 million in small change. If you don't listen to me, you'll make things difficult for me." I was too lazy to listen to her nonsense, and my right hand involuntarily swung over. Damn, difficult, then don't do it. Slap. Hypocritical. Talking endlessly and full of useless words. You really deserve a slap. Lily covered her burning right cheek, staring at me with disbelief. Austin, are you even a man anymore? You're finished. I'll never talk to you again in my life. Don't even think about me forgiving you. Is this for real? Exactly what I wanted. The next second, Lily's mother, who had been coldly staring at her, elegantly swung her left hand. Slap. Lily's left cheek also received a resounding slap. Mother and son joining forces, a symmetrical double slap. You have a foul and offensive mouth. You deserve a beating. The Austin family kindly sponsored you, only to be repaid with ingratitude. We agreed to your unreasonable request to live in our house, but you set down rules for us, demanding that my son stay away from you, even move out? What do you think you are, daring to scold my son like a thankless wretch? Do you really think the New York Austin family is someone anyone can humiliate at will? The normally gentle and amiable mother rarely became so violently angry. Of course, what allowed her to make such a decisive move was seeing how indifferent I was to Lily. If I didn't like her, then she was just a stranger in her eyes. The mother coldly warned, "If you ever dare to act up in the Austin family again or harass us, I will not only have the police arrest you, but also have a lawyer recover all the past sponsorships." For students with such bad character, the Austin family has the final say. Lily never expected that her rebirth would be met with such a brutal blow. Not only had she failed to become the dominant female lead controlling her own destiny, but she had also completely offended the Austin family. No matter how much she struggled, she was dragged by Nanny Wanda and the bodyguards and thrown outside the gates of the villa complex. The butler, Uncle Fred, specially instructed the property management not to allow Lily into the villa complex, especially near our villa, the most luxurious mansion in the entire complex. Lily didn't believe it. She vowed to make me pay a heavy price. She immediately brought out her trump card, which was to lie in wait for the male lead, Drake. The problem was that Drake was just an illegitimate son at this time, an unvalued college student in the Drakes. Lily tried to use her advantage of being reborn to urge the stubborn and scheming Drake to start a business and get rich quickly. But she was met with Drake's disgust, who scolded her as a crazy neurotic with delusions. Lily had forgotten that in the original plot, she had risen to prominence with the help of my family's money and resources. Only then had she been noticed by the domineering CEO male lead Drake, and not in her current penniless state. But Lily was unwilling and persistently continued to besiege and pester him, directly provoking Drake's anger. As expected of a male lead born as an illegitimate son, his psychology was also perverted and twisted. Drake got Lily drunk and, not satisfied with experiencing her first time himself, he even called over his hooligan friends to learn the crazy operations of General Kurt. It was a cue. When Lily woke up, she saw the messy room. She was so devastated she went crazy. She had originally thought that after being reborn, she could follow her own ideas, have no emotional connection with me, and control her destiny to become the dominant female lead. Then, she would have a sweet and doting relationship with the domineering CEO male lead Drake, one love for life. She never expected the male lead Drake, who had had a sweet and loving relationship with her in the previous life, would be so perverted before he became successful, treating Lily, the reborn female lead, so inhumanely. Lily couldn't accept this fact and didn't want to suffer so much even after being reborn. So, in a fit of anger, she rushed into the kitchen. Holding a fruit knife and a kitchen knife in both hands, she slashed all the sleeping scum. Not only did she cut off and chop up their tools of the crime, but she also used them as cadavers to practice her skills. When the police broke down the door to arrest her, Lily was still babbling madly. "I am a reborn person. I am the dominant female lead. I will be a trillionaire. You will all have to worship me." I learned the cause and effect of the matter from this sensational national news. Lily was diagnosed with mental disorder and was temporarily placed in a mental hospital for treatment. After her condition stabilized, the trial process would proceed. However, Lily didn't live to see that day. On the second day after she entered the mental hospital, she was pushed down the stairs and killed by a real mental patient. Truly, you reap what you sow. Austin, fortunately, you woke up early. You didn't have any connection with her. Otherwise, your mother would have been worried all day long. Who would have thought that this Lily would be so ruthless, killing 11 people in one go? After reading the news report, the mother felt lingering fear and apprehension. I patted my chest and assured her that I would be very careful in choosing women, especially those female leads who are mentally abnormal. I must stay far away from them. However, if nothing unexpected happens, then something unexpected will happen. I didn't go looking for those crazy female leads, but they were arranged by the mighty hand of the plot to come to me. This day, the tall, sexy, beautiful, and young Secretary Zoe knocked on the door, and after receiving my permission, entered the president's office. "Mr. Austin, the group's front desk on the first floor called to say that a woman named Crystal is looking for you." "Crystal? I'm just looking at the name. I guess she's another female lead. Based on my experience of transmigrating into a crazy female-oriented world, she must be mentally abnormal. Thinking of the craziness and ruthlessness of that female lead Lily before, I don't want to provoke these lunatics." Without any hesitation, I decisively refused. "I don't know any Crystal, and besides, she doesn't have an appointment. Just have the front desk reject her." Hearing my cold rejection, the gossip fire that had just been ignited in Secretary Zoe's heart was extinguished. "Okay, Mr. Austin, I'll tell the front desk." Secretary Zoe smiled gently, then twisted her slender waist and perky buttocks and turned to leave. In less than a minute, she knocked on the door again and walked in. I personally declined her visit, but she said she has a major project to discuss with Mr. Austin, and she specially emphasized that it involves a very important project for the Coles and the Austin family. Secretary Zoe ignited the gossip fire again, asking with a bright smile, "Do you think, Mr. Austin, should I have the front desk let her up?" "Judging from this Miss Crystal's tone, she seems to be very familiar with you." "Oh ho, this Secretary Zoe has been favored by me too much recently. She's getting a bit arrogant in her speech and actions. She even dares to teach me what to do. I'm not a soft rice eater. Do I need a secretary to teach me what to do? It's simply a rebellion." I glared at her speechlessly. "Being so gossipy will only harm you." Hearing this, Secretary Zoe's pretty face changed color, and she immediately closed her cherry mouth. I extracted the plot from the Pseudo-Man short stories I had read from my mind, quickly sorting through it. Crystal was indeed the female lead in the book, and she had once been a stunningly beautiful schoolbelle. At the same time, she was also the white moonlight in the male supporting character's student days, who had secretly loved and pursued her for many years without success. No matter how much the male supporting character paid for her, no matter how gentle and considerate he was, it was useless. Crystal still loved the heartless playboy male lead the most, and followed him abroad regardless of everything. Later, they played the Chase Your Wife crematorium game and dragged the male supporting character Austin into it. He chases her. She can't escape. Now the plot has reached the point where Crystal runs away back to China with a bun in the oven. But I found this kind of pseudo-romance novel infuriating. I cursed and swore to back then and just swiped it away. I didn't even see the ending. I have no idea how Crystal used the male supporting character Austin after returning to China. Damn it, if I had known I would transmigrate into this book, I would have gritted my teeth and finished reading it back then. But whatever. I am a normal, super rich second generation, not a stupid son of a rich landowner. Am I supposed to be afraid of some damn female lead? Since I'm here, I might as well settle in. Can I, the CEO of Austin Group, the heir of the New York Austin family, spend my whole life hiding from those crazy female leads? If I can't enjoy and experience this unadorned, ultra-rich life freely and elegantly, then what's the point of me transmigrating into this book? Since it involves a major project between families, let her come up. Secretary Zoe nodded obediently and turned to leave. Her swaying posture is really irritating. Wait a minute. Mr. Austin, is there anything else you need? I'm very irritable right now. Who? That's better. Having entered a state of zen, I face Crystal without the slightest ripple. Regardless of her beautiful eyes and amorous feelings, displaying her stunning beauty and perfect figure. I was like an old monk in meditation, watching indifferently. A runaway white moonlight is a tainted white moonlight. I'm not Chow Chow. I have no interest in that. Speak. What is this family project you want to talk about? I open my mouth without emotion, completely in a businesslike state. Seeing my appearance, Crystal was immediately frustrated and angry. She asked angrily, Austin, what kind of attitude is that? Did I have to tell the receptionist that there was an important project before you would see me? Am I so unwelcome? Fine, I'll leave. Don't you regret it? Oomph. Crystal turned to leave, but glanced at me out of the corner of her eye. However, I was still leaning back in my office chair, legs crossed, watching her performance with a playful expression. Crystal felt like she had punch cotton, so she pouted and sat back down. Austin, you've really changed. You've become so unfamiliar to me. Back then you vowed that you were the person in the world who loved me the most, and that as long as I was happy, you would silently protect me for the rest of your life. Now we've only been apart for 3 short years, and you've shut me out, treating me with extreme indifference. A man's mouth is a liar's entrance. I won't pay attention to you anymore. Consider me blind. I misjudged you. You have no sense of responsibility as a man. Me? Hearing her straightforward words, my eyes widened in shock. But these words are what the original male lead said. What does it have to do with me, a handsome guy who transmigrated into this book? Looking at the dramatic Crystal, I frowned impatiently. Crystal, if you're just here to say these nonsense, then leave quickly. Austin Group has so many things to do. I don't have time to mess around with you. Crystal didn't believe that in just 3 years, she, who used to be high above Austin as a backup, would lose her charm. She thought I was definitely playing hard to get, trying to attract more of her attention. Men. Crystal gracefully hooked a strand of hair on her forehead behind her ear. Then she looked at me with captivating eyes and said, I came to you today to tell you good news. I didn't expect you to be so unromantic with such an impersonal attitude, making me very sad. Crystal squeezed out non-existent crocodile tears, hoping to attract my curiosity. She took out a piece of A4 paper full of terms and conditions from her luxurious handbag. I, Crystal, have decided to agree to marry you. How about it? Are you happy? Are you surprised? Holy sh**t. This is a shock, right? Are you telling Secretary Zoe that this major project between families is this marriage? How did Crystal manage to say such vicious words with such a normal demeanor? You ran abroad with the Playboy male lead for 3 years, and now you're running back to me with a bun in the oven to take over? From my understanding of female-oriented, crazed, domineering president novels, this is definitely just an interlude or a side quest to drive the plot. In the end, Crystal will definitely reunite with a domineering president male lead and live a shameless and happy life. As for me, this super rich male supporting character, I am destined to be their stepping stone, used as a blood-sucking pack. I can even act as a source of amusement, adding interest to your chase wife cremation scene. In the end, they are comfortable, they finish their business, and just throw me away. Besides, who gets pregnant with someone else's baby and secretly runs back to marry me? Even if you treat the original male supporting character as a garbage recycling station, you can't humiliate the New York Austin family like that. Crystal, have some decency. I complained silently, picked up the paper. If I hadn't looked, I wouldn't have known how shocking it was. Crystal, are you serious about what's written on here? Crystal nodded nonchalantly. There's more than this. I left another sheet at home. I was directly shocked into the emoji of a groundhog. If you know, you would think we were in a wealthy marriage. If you didn't, you would think you were setting rules for slaves. After we get married, Austin Group will be under your management. Crystal sneered with the mysterious confidence of a strong woman. I am a master's graduate from a top overseas university. My management ability is far superior to a weakling like you with a Harvard degree. I continued to read. The assets of the New York Austin family and my personal property will also be entirely up to you. Crystal took it for granted and acted weak. I am a woman. I need enough security. You wouldn't be reluctant, would you? Hiss. Are you double-sided tape? The impressive side is you. The weak side is also you. I pointed to another bizarre clause and asked, since you are marrying me, then you're a part of the Coles. Why should all the project between the Coles and Austin family be given preferential treatment to the Coles? Crystal still had a specious argument. It wasn't easy for my parents to raise me. I should give my family some small returns, right? What? You're the Coles has assets of tens of billions. It's easy to support 100 of you. And the projects between Austin family and the Coles are worth more than $5 billion. Is this a small return? Just handing it over to your family? Even knowing that I was watching a clown show, I had no patience at this moment. I glanced at the bottom and pointed to the last item. I'm the head of Austin Group, the heir of the New York Austin family, and you give me 500 yuan a month for pocket money? Crystal seemed to recall a painful memory, her gaze unwavering and hypocritical. She was wildly punching me with words. Men with money become bad. All your food, drink, clothing, and expenses are from home. I forbid you from smoking, drinking, playing games, buying equipment, and especially going to social events and bars. Tell me, where do you need to spend money? Giving you $500 a month is already too much. Remember to save it. When it's my birthday, use your savings to buy me a gift, okay? This is trying to swallow me and the entire Austin family, even the Austin Group, root and stem. You, a dirty white moonlight carrying another man's child. Who the hell gave you the courage to be so shameless? What about Jace, the one you were once crazy about? Why was he allowed to smoke, drink, get perms, even clubbing and everything else? He spent money lavishly and even two-timed in women. All of his flaws and bad habits cross your red lines. Why weren't you moved by them back then and even became obsessed with him and followed him abroad? I'm asking this for the tragic original male supporting character, wanting to know how shameless this dirty white moonlight can be. Sure enough, Crystal never disappoints. She twisted the truth. Jace is different. He's worth me being like that for him. After hearing that, I couldn't help but laugh, mockingly scoffing. Oh, so I deserve to be the garbage dump? I have to stand in the same spot forever and be your backup to manipulate at will. After hearing that, Crystal was stunned and scolded in a panicked tone. Austin, stop it. It's not what you think. She absolutely wouldn't allow her most loyal licking dog backup to awaken. Sigh, I truly feel endless sadness for the original male supporting character in the story. Of course, it's all the fault of that fake idiot author. The perfect, outstanding, all-around genius male supporting character was actually set to be a brainless backup, taking over the mess. Crystal's rules and regulations are completely treating me like the landlord's foolish son. I pointed at my own face, disdainfully mocking. Do I look that tragic with stupid, rich carved on my face? How can you, a married pregnant woman, be so shameless? Carrying someone else's seed and still daring to come and propose marriage with me. Those rules and regulations above are going to eat the Austen family clean. I want to ask, is this how you, the Coles, educate your daughters? That's truly eye-opening. Crystal didn't expect me to suddenly change my face, and even less that I knew her secrets. Her face was pale, but she was still forcefully trying to reason. Austen, you're slandering me. Be careful I sue you for defamation. If you don't want to marry me, you can directly refuse. Why do you have to throw dirty water on a woman like me, even on the Coles? You have to apologize to me, otherwise I'll never talk to you again. The next second, I couldn't bear it anymore. My right hand couldn't help but swing out. Slap. The strength was just right. It didn't leave a palm print, but it was enough to make her face burn. Crystal covered her burning right cheek with her right hand, her face full of disbelief that I would dare do this. Oh, that hateful little look. Is it complaining that I only slapped half her face? Okay, I'll satisfy you. My left hand swung out forcefully, giving her a big backhanded slap to her left cheek. Symmetrical, comfortable. Crystal wanted to rush over and scratch me. But the thoughtful and sensible Secretary Zoe had already rushed in with the security guards. They directly dragged the crazed Crystal out. Immediately afterward, I took out the hidden camera I had prepared in advance and copied the video of what had just happened. With this bombshell, it would be enough to make Crystal and the Coles completely lose face in New York's high society circle. Not surprisingly at all, that evening, the Coles came knocking on the door. I had already spoken with my parents in the afternoon and informed them of Crystal's outrageous behavior. They maintained their high society demeanor and welcomed Crystal and her parents in. Inside the villa's tea room, only the two families were present. Uncle Fred, Nanny Wanda, and other servants were all dismissed. After all, when it comes to the reputation of a high society family, it's best to resolve it privately. However, before they could blow up and make trouble, I directly turned on the projector and played the video from the office during the day. At the same time, I put the piece of paper that Crystal had left in my office, along with the form urgently obtained this afternoon confirming her pregnancy, on the table. Mr. Cole and Mrs. Cole saw the video and the evidence on the table. They went from being furious when they entered to being extremely embarrassed and ashamed at this moment. Mr. Cole was so angry that his veins were popping and rushed over to slap Crystal twice. You rebellious daughter, you've disgraced the Coles. My lifelong reputation of Mr. Cole has been ruined by you. You even deceived me that going abroad to study was to help the family business. Is this how you help the Coles? You've read so much that it's all gone into the dog's stomach, a shameless scumbag. Crystal was very disgruntled with being scolded and even dared to glare fiercely at me. This made my always protective mother very unhappy. She stood up and slapped her in the face. My mother stared at her and questioned in a chilling tone, carrying someone else's bastard child and daring to find my Austen family for marriage. Who gave you the nerve? Do you think the Austen family is stupid and easily bullied? You haven't even successfully married yet, and you've already listed so many rules and regulations for my Austen family. Anyone who doesn't know would think that you, the Coles, want to use this method to completely empty and dig out my Austen family. My mother's words were very serious. She directly beat Crystal in front of Crystal's parents and even mocked the Coles. Mr. Cole and Mrs. Cole could only endure it aggrievedly. After all, the Coles' daughter was too embarrassing. If the New York high society circle knew that the Coles' daughter wanted to use this method to eat up the marriage partner's family, they were afraid that they would be ridiculed and isolated. Who would dare to marry or deeply cooperate with the Coles in the future? The short-tempered Mr. Cole was so angry that his blood pressure soared, and he furiously slapped Crystal again. He didn't stop until he slapped her into a pig's head and even made her nose bleed. Next, dealing with the matter was much simpler. The high and mighty dirty white moonlight Crystal knelt in the courtyard and apologized. Mr. Cole and Mrs. Cole also apologized in various ways. The most important thing was to give up many benefits. Finally, the Coles had no choice but to make various concessions on several cooperative projects between our two families. They even transferred a core plot of land with extremely high value to us below market price. The two families quickly negotiated a compensation agreement. After all of their compensation was transferred to the Austin Group. This video that made the Coles lose face and even reputation would be completely destroyed. The competition between high society families will ultimately be reflected in benefits. Of course, the Coles were heartbroken, feeling like they were being bled dry. Unable to vent his anger, Mr. Cole ruthlessly attacked the male lead, Jace. Crystal, defying her family's wishes, recklessly got pregnant with some unknown man's child, shaming the Coles and causing them to lose face. Mr. Cole interrogated her and found out about Jace's situation, including his address overseas. At this time, Jace hadn't yet risen to prominence. He was just an illegitimate son who hadn't returned to the family. Mr. Cole arranged for his butler to take people overseas and break Jace's legs. At the same time, they confiscated his tools, turning him into a modern eunuch. Crystal knelt in my family's villa courtyard for a full day and night before my mother finally calmed down and told her to get lost. When she returned to the Coles, she faced a major decision. Mr. Cole ordered her to abort the illegitimate child, or else she would be kicked out of the Coles and disowned. However, as an abnormal female lead in a crazy romance novel world, Crystal resolutely refused. Just like she had back then, unreservedly following the male lead abroad. This time, she once again abandoned her parents and the Coles and rushed towards him. But never in her wildest dreams did she imagine. The male lead, Jace, whom Crystal was crazy about, had already been converted into a eunuch by her own father. So, Jace couldn't even be a normal man, let alone a domineering CEO. Crystal felt lost and helpless, looking down at her belly. Did she really want her child to be born with a eunuch for a father? Moreover, the male lead, Jace, was originally a womanizing playboy, and losing his third leg was like losing his life. He vented all his resentment and anger onto Crystal. "Ah, Jace, you beast! This is your child. How can you be so cruel?" When Jace kicked the baby out of her stomach, Crystal broke down and went insane. Before the runaway pregnancy and chasing after the wife drama could even begin, she sent the male lead, Jace, to the crematorium. She transformed into Lily II. Crystal took advantage of Jace being drunk and stabbed him 49 times in the stomach. It seemed that this extremely cruel method could avenge her unborn child. Facing the U.S. police, Crystal raised her knife and tried to approach. However, in a land of free U.S., there's a shooting every day. They didn't give Crystal a chance to get close, not even a chance to speak from afar. Bang, 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 they opened fire directly. She was shot dead on the spot. Austin, another crazy woman, is dead. None of the women you once liked or had a crush on are normal. The worst part is, even if they're brain damaged, they're so terrifyingly cruel and extreme when they go crazy. Mom has figured it out. I'll never urge you to date or get married again. Just be happy and free. Young people should focus on their careers. After my mother finished talking to me about the news of Crystal being shot dead, she resolutely stated her stance on not urging me to marry. If she attracted a crazy abnormal woman like Lily or Crystal and ruined her most beloved only son, my mother would regret it to death. She wouldn't take the risk. That's right, making money and building a career, enjoying freedom and happiness is so much better. Why provoke those crazy female leads when there are sensible, sexy, and beautiful girls like Secretary Zoe? Mr. Austin again. You're fired up again. Okay, I'm coming, big brother.